Joe Blackburn, Destiny's game director, has posted a 15-minute video to Twitter, or X, and updated the community on Destiny: The Final Shape and the state of the game released a few weeks ago. Today we have lots of new information to dive through, including a PvP map pack for free, competitive changes, a strike team built to handle specific Crucible content, updates on armor like a free armor set releasing next season that was supposed to be in EVERVERSE, and Bungie's renewed focus on communication, which looks great. Welcome Guardians, let's dive right in.
Hey everybody, it's Joe, and I'm just here to check in on how Destiny's going. So a few weeks ago, we put about state of the game communication that wasn't up to our standards for what y'all have come to expect for those kinds of communications. It didn't provide the high-level vision that we normally provide, and really and truly, a bunch of us were heads down working the final shape and weren't able to give it the sort of care and love that we normally put into these kind of communications. And that's nobody's fault but mine here on this. So I wanted to come in, talk to y'all directly, and sort of give you an update on what we thought about the state of the game that we put out and what we think about Destiny as a whole.
Today we got some new Destiny news in the form of a Twitter video. This isn't a massive article like the state of the game, but rather a simple sit down from Joe Blackburn where he explains Destiny and where it's going, also the community's reaction to the state of the game. This was a very nice change of events, and the video addresses some of the biggest concerns of the community, so let's begin. The Final Shape reveal was recorded a while ago and isn't a reaction to the state of the game itself. The Final Shape won't have huge changes. It's focused on the light, focusing on story and what Destiny fans have come to know over the last 10 years. It's not about wacky themes that might be a hint towards Lightfall or crazy new abilities, but it's built for everybody to understand what's happening and a love letter to Destiny fans since the beginning. Joe will be live after the reveal showcase to answer questions, as things might have changed since the state of the game and when the reveal was recorded, so players will be able to ask their questions there. Now let's move on to the Crucible. Joe first talked about Bungie's philosophy with Crucible maps. Each year they plan to release one new map and maybe some reprisals along the way. Sometimes you may run into an issue though. With that new map you're building, you think it needs to have everything because you're only releasing one new map. It's got to have certain aspects that everybody can enjoy, right? And sometimes that may make things feel a little bit more difficult. So what Bungie's doing instead next year is releasing a free map pack. New Crucible maps being bundled together for the fans to enjoy for free. This is a great idea, and I'm sure it'll freshen up some of those modes and revitalize some of the players' investment in this mode itself. Instead of getting one map, running through it, and having nothing for a whole year, you'll have a bunch of maps to enjoy together. Bungie is going to focus on adding more modes into the core playlist. Some of those modes you've been seeing in Crucible Labs and other locations will now be in the base playlist. It seems much of the problem was different bugs, various glitches that held Bungie back in terms of releasing those into those playlists, but they're going to take on some of those challenges and give players what they want, more modes in the main playlist of the game. Next to that, a competitive system. He doesn't say much, but a system where winning and losing matters more.
Instead of a slow trickle of maps throughout the year, we're going to focus our effort into a single map pack that's free for everyone. So imagine new maps coming in one drop where we can make a bunch of new experiences that can all be good at specific things and adds a big variety in a single drop next year. Now this is a shift from our strategy, so it's going to take us time to sort of understand the details of what we're putting out here and getting that out to y'all next year. We've also heard a lot about comp, and particularly about the way that we reward points in comp. So we want to take a new approach to the way that we're balancing points in comp. Right now, we think it's just weighted too much on your personal MMR versus the people you're playing against. And when you win or when you lose a game, it can be really unpredictable how many points you're getting. We're going to go to a simpler system where winning or losing just matters more.
And then finally, great modes like Countdown Rush will be put into competitive, and they will remove least favorite modes like Rift. This completely makes sense, and I'm looking forward to see the specific comp changes they have for us at a later date. The last biggest note for the Crucible side of things was a PvP strike team. A strike team is sort of a little team Bungie puts together to build stuff that's rewarding. They were the ones that built the Masterwork system back during the Curse of Osiris and Warmind. A new PvP strike team is being built for Crucible content specifically. The team will decide what to do, and when that's approved by Joe and others, they will immediately speak to the community about it. This is great because it's communicated before implemented, then they can implement it into the game, and then fans enjoy the content when it releases. The strike teams are built off of the community feedback. Now let's talk about armor. During the State of the Game, Bungie spoke about ritual sets and how they won't focus much on them moving forward. They'd rather focus on sets from things like dungeons and raids. Joe explains this and some of the changes we're going to see because of that feedback. Bungie has different tiers for the armor they build. They have aspirational armor, which is from the highest tier activities like raids and dungeons. They have silver, which is EVERVERSE armor you pay for with silver. They have narrative armor, which is pretty much anything else, stuff you see in marketings, the season pass, and even campaign. And then they have ritual and blues, the stereotypical guardian armor you see in Destiny 2. Last year, Bungie started to focus more on the armor people cared about, like aspirational armor from dungeons. This led to some awesome changes like the cowboy armor, Root of Nightmares, and deep dive sea fantasies like Season of the Deep. This stuff, yeah, looked awesome, but Bungie failed to communicate this change. So to change this, in Season 22 they're taking a set that was supposed to be in EVERVERSE and releasing it for free as ritual rewards, so you can earn it from Strikes, Crucible, or Gambit, whichever way you wish. The final shape will have its own set of ritual suite armor, and Bungie will communicate more on this topic moving forward, focusing on what the community wants.
Now, sometime in the middle of last year, we sort of reevaluated our priorities on armor. And we said, hey, we need to be spending more on the armors that people care the most about, the people that earn, that spend, that do all this to this so they can sort of get these armors in the game. So this is like our PvP stuff in trials, our aspirational stuff in raids and dungeons, our narrative stuff. We thought we weren't consistently hitting the bar enough in those looks. And I think that since that initiative, we've been really successful in this. We've put out great stuff in terms of like cowboy armor for Spire. We've put out awesome stuff in the Root of Nightmares raid, and we've put out a bunch of awesome armor sets for sort of a deep sea fantasy last season and Season of the Deep. Now, what we failed to do when we reprioritized, hey, where are our resources going, is communicate this to you. But this is not a thing that we're never going to invest in. We're investing in it again in the final shape. There's going to be a whole nother ritual suite of armor. And we're excited to sort of replenish that base card in fantasy. But just because we're doing that in the final shape year, that doesn't mean that we communicated this soon enough. So also for this year, we want to take an armor set that we were going to put in the EVERVERSE, and we're saying, no. We should have communicated this earlier. It's really important that our fans can trust us. Let's take this armor set that we were going to use in Season 22 for the EVERVERSE set, and let's say, no, it's going to be free, and we're going to put it as ritual rewards.
Lastly, the biggest thing here is comms, communication. Bungie wants to talk to the community more, but it needs to be done in a safe manner that doesn't threaten some of their employees. Bungie needs to be safe, you, the community, needs to be safe. Branded accounts like the D2 team will speak to the community more often, and Joe will even stream a few times over the next few seasons to interact with the community and get your opinions.
Although we really want to be focused on delivering great content to y'all and making sure that's our top priority, that doesn't mean our communications have to suffer. And so the first thing, we want to be talking to y'all more. But talking to y'all more, our number one priority, we have to keep our community members and our community leaders safe from the Bungie side. I don't want anyone that signs up to come work at Bungie and to talk to y'all about the game to have to worry about their personal safety. So we're going to keep using our branded accounts. You'll see these on Twitter and you'll see these on Reddit, right? And we want to be using those accounts with more personality, going and talking to y'all more.
So there you have it, Guardians, some updates from Joe Blackburn, game director of Destiny 2. Let me know your thoughts on all of this down below. Are you excited for some of these Crucible changes, the new map pack, the free armor set, and what are you hoping to see in the final shape reveal? If you'd like to see some more Destiny news, lore, and mysteries just like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.